Hello everyone, I'm Jessica Hansen, Director of Take Note Studio, and I have been asked a few times over the last few weeks about how Take Note Studio got started in the community. We have a studio both in Manitowoc and in Sheboygan area now, and so I thought I'd take a minute to tell you my story of how I started the business here in Manitowoc and how it's grown into Sheboygan as well. So, our family moved to Manitowoc in 2001, and we had 3 little children at the time, and I was a stay-at-home mom, and my husband was establishing a new career here in Manitowoc, and I was desperate for things to do with my little kids, and I also was desperate for friends and community, and so I started looking around for things that I could do with my kids. And one day I saw a little kinder music sign in a church window in Manitowoc, and I thought, that sounds like a good idea. I was a music major in college, a piano major, for a short time until I realized how much I despise performance and competition. So then I changed to education and still highly valued at that time the impact of music on my life and wanted that for my children as well. So I thought, I'll check out kinder music and enrolled all 3 of my kids in separate classes at that time. And I have to tell you too that my parents helped pay for those classes because we were on one income, and it was really something that I wanted to do with the kids and a wonderful gift. So there's a little side note to ask grandparents to help provide these classes for your kids, because it's something that'll last a lifetime for them, a wonderful investment. So anyway, I enrolled all 3 of the kids and really almost immediately understood the depth of what kinder music offers, for what it offered for our family. So just from a developmental standpoint and a holistic standpoint, in all of the ways that my kids started growing in every area of development, socially and verbally and physically and emotionally, and the wonderful connection that I was having with them in those classes one-on-one, just very playful and joyful. And the friends that I started making through those classes as well was something that I just immediately fell in love with, and fell in love with kinder music curriculum as a musician, understanding the depth of what it was offering my children. So not long after that, however, the owner of the studio was needing to relocate to a different community and was just going to shut down the studio. It was a pretty small studio at the time, and so on a whim, I just asked for her mailing list, not having any idea on how to run a business, or that it was actually more appropriate for me to ask to buy her mailing list, but I didn't know that at the time, and actually she didn't either, because she just gave it to me. There was about 50 people on the mailing list, and by that time I was pregnant with my 5th child, and I thought, I got nothing better to do, I'll start a business, and ended up within a couple of months just contacting all of those students, and a couple months later starting my own business, and started with 5 classes and 35 students, and that was back in 2006, September of 2006, and we started in a dance studio, and then we moved to a different church location than where we are now, and then about 10 years ago we moved to our current Manitowoc location, and then about 5 years ago we expanded to Sheboygan. And we now have over 300 students in our studio, including kinder music students and private lesson students in all sorts of different instruments, and then a theatrical singing program as well. So lots of expansion. 2 years after I started teaching, I hired my first staff member, and now we have a dozen teachers in our program, and really excited to have a team that is fantastic at delivering such a wonderful musical experience for our community. So that's a little bit about how I started Take Note Studio. When I first started, it was actually Kinder Music at Hansen Studio, but a while back I changed the name to Take Note Studio to encompass more of what we offer, that it's not just Kinder Music, and it's certainly not just me that provides the services. So now it's Take Note Studio instead of Kinder Music at Hansen Studio. So would love to answer any questions you have about the establishment of the studio and how I run a business and how I've learned to run a business and anything like that. I really have a passion for helping especially women who want to start businesses in their communities as well. So thanks for your interest in how that happened 14 years ago and for your participation in our program and the investment that you're making in your children in that way. Thanks.